So I got this question that I pulled off of my Facebook fan page wall from Trevor Williams. I'll just read the question word for word. I'm having trouble right now with life. It seems I'm always having bad luck with jobs. I always end up being unemployed for months at a time when I lose a job, and right now it's been the longest period of unemployment for me in my life. I always have ideas when it comes to get-rich-quick schemes, but I have no money at all. I'm 21 years old and sometimes feel like giving up, like I have nothing to lose. It's a good place to be, nothing to lose. I am honestly sick of the job thing, and I just wish I had a career that I loved and can do forever. Do you have any advice for me? I'm somewhat desperate. P.S. I enjoy lifting weights, boxing, MMA, and most of all, professional wrestling. I really wish I could get into that. So, Trevor, your answer is inherent with the question. You're answering your own question. What you're missing is the courage to take action in the direction of your dreams, because it's irresponsible to do what you really want to do, or so we've been told. So you're having difficulty maintaining employment or finding jobs and being unemployed for extended periods of times is because there is a core or a primary disconnect between what you're doing and what you really feel on the inside. And that never measures up. It never adds up. It'll always show up dysfunctional. For some people, they just can't keep a job. For other people, they keep the job, but they've just completely sold their soul. They're depressed, they're upset, they have anxiety, they end up stuffing their true love and character down deep inside, make it to about 40, 50 years old, and then go through a midlife crisis. I think you're a little bit better off because you're just so rebellious against this, or you recognize that dichotomy, that tension between your heart and your mind, that you just don't do anything. Better place to be than getting caught up in what you're told you should do, right? So now, you also left a PS, right? Postscript. Interesting how where we place our heart. Interesting where the point at which, or the way we position that thing that we actually love. Postscript. Everything else is about how fucked up things are because you're following your mind, which is basically the leash by which the world has tethered you in order to follow what they think you should be doing, right? Get a job, motherfucker. And you postscript. I love lifting weights, boxing, MMA, and really professional wrestling. I wish I could get into that. There it is. That's it. That's it. You will never, ever again be at a loss for something to do or drifting about in your life if you go in the direction of professional wrestling, right? Sounds fucking crazy. Elliott Hulse, you're telling this 21-year-old man that he should give up his jobs, right? His respectable positions with benefits and pension plans so that he can earn a regular paycheck for professional wrestling? Now, Elliott, that's irresponsible. Abso-fucking-lutely, it's irresponsible. And it's the most important thing for you to do right now in your life. Here's the thing. Everyone gives you advice based on their experience, and most people's experience are based on the advice or the dictates of other people. So we've created this economic machine whereby the most important thing for a human being to execute is becoming a taxpayer. Now, things are changing a little bit now because the more you are a leaner on the tax-paying system, the more powerful you are, because then you vote for guys like Obama. But anyway, the point here is this system needs a lot of taxpayers. So you got to do shit that gets you quickly out there in order to pay taxes. You very quickly need to get into a situation where you start filling out paperwork so that they can take your tax money. If you go into something that is a calling of your heart, it means that you're probably not going to get a job right away. You're not going to be a respectable taxpayer right away. Right? And we're not conditioned this way. We're not conditioned in such a way, and the system is not designed, and school has not taught us, and our parents have not taught us, and TV and media and everything that completely brainwashes us does not tell us that it's okay to bypass the system for a moment, the head, and follow the heart. But what they don't let you know, what they don't tell you, and mostly because they haven't experienced it, but Elliott Hulse has, so I can share this with you, is that if you just follow your fucking heart, just follow that strange thing that's happening inside you, you will end up 10 times better, miles ahead of all those people who did what they were told. And those miles ahead are very subjective. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to make more money than them or you're going to be more rich and famous than them, but you will be more at peace. You will have more peace of mind. You will be more in love with yourself and your life. The people around you will enjoy your company that much more. You'll sleep better at night. You'll smile, you'll laugh, you'll dance. You'll enjoy this life 10 times better than if you were to follow what everyone else told you to do. Let me just share my story. Right? Of course, that's what I do here. Because all I can offer you is my experience, and I give you perspectives based on what I've seen and what I've experienced. And I do shit that most people don't do, so it might be a good idea for you to listen. Football. I'm doing what I'm doing right now. You see, talking to you right now through these videos, and I get paid pretty well. And I've set up many constructs because I studied marketing, I studied business along the way in order to build a life around the thing that I love to do most. Began with football. I was in 6th grade. My older cousin played football, and I saw what he was doing with the helmets on. It was shiny, and there were bands playing, and the whole pomp and circumstance, and I decided, I want to do that. I want to be down on that field, like my big grown cousin, and have bands playing and everybody being excited about me. And I knew I was fast, I knew I was strong, so I knew I could do that. So I was in 6th grade, and I decided that I was going to start playing football. Long story short, with regard to football, I became really good at playing football. I earned a college scholarship playing football. And I knew that my life was going to revolve around football. That's all I cared about. Nothing else mattered to me. School, it was just how can I play football. My grades were good enough so that I could play football. I went to college so I could play football. Nothing else mattered to me. I was dead set on the fact that I was going to play football. The rest of my life, or be somehow involved in the sport of football, right? You like professional wrestling, right? That might sound a little bit stranger than football, but trust me, you might have a better chance becoming a professional wrestler than a fucking football player. Even though I was really freaking good, but the cards didn't fall as such. I can tell you right now, I don't even know who played in the Super Bowl last year. Football is the last thing on my mind. But I followed that calling. I followed that prompting in my heart. And it took me down a road where I ultimately ended up studying strength and conditioning because I got really good at football by lifting weights. And I decided, well, I can be a coach if I can't be a football player, professional football player. And I actually enjoy lifting weights more than actually talking about the strategy of football because I've never been a strategy person. I still am not. But I know how to get you to beast up on something. So I knew how to get kids really excited about lifting weights. So I studied exercise physiology, strength and conditioning. Ultimately ended up opening my own gym through trials and errors and all types of heartache and discomfort because I knew that one thing I knew was like I was never going to work for anybody else. Even in the NFL, it was like, you know, I'd have to be a slave to their system. I'm so much happier now that I'm not or never was, you know, hindsight is always 20/20, a slave to the NFL system, right? Because those guys are, you know, they're treated like meat. They get paid really well, especially not as a coach. And I'm definitely happy I'm not a coach in a collegiate setting or anything like that. I mean, those guys don't get paid very well and they work their asses off. That's not what I wanted. Another thing that I wanted was a family. But anyway, I'm going off on a tangent here. I realized through coaching, right? So it started with football, then it became coaching, strength and conditioning. I opened my business, strength and conditioning, and I realized as I'm training these kids, you know, and I'm really good as a coach. I understood. I really studied. I love the body. How to coach, and I have the best cues, I have the best programs, I got great results. But my favorite part of the workouts while I was training these kids was talking to them about their schoolwork, about their girlfriends, about the problems they're having with their parents. Right? After their workout, they stick around. You know, Elliott, what do you think about this? My girlfriend cheated on me, so-and-so. My parents, they want me to go to this college, but really I want to go to this college. I enjoyed doing it. My heart then at that moment went from football, the strength and conditioning, to mentorship of young men. I didn't plan this. I didn't say I want to be a mentor of young men, especially through the video medium because there was no YouTube, especially when I first became a coach, where I could talk to perhaps millions of young men throughout the entire world via a fucking camera. I couldn't have planned that, but I did one thing. I followed my heart every step of the way. It looks crazy in the beginning, but it all starts to make sense as you go down that path. That's why I say you have to follow your heart, not because of the thing that your heart is telling you to do at this particular moment, but because of the journey your heart will take you on. It's gonna take you on a fucking incredible journey. The end point of that journey, or how you fare along that journey, will be filled with love and pleasure and joy because your heart is involved with the work. I do what I do here like this, right? Talking to this camera in my warehouse gym, knowing nothing about football. I could give two shits. Who is in the BCF playoffs and the NFL, and I don't know any of the fucking players. I don't know anything about football. Nothing. But I followed that prompting of my heart up until this point. I couldn't have planned it any better. Ignore sensibility. Ignore responsibility. Listen to your body. Follow your heart, and you'll enjoy this journey of life. It won't always be easy, but it'll be yours. And there's no greater pleasure than a life of your own design, than one filled with the riches of slavery. You know what to do, dude. Now go fucking do it.